Bonjour mes amis, hi guys. Collection review for Wong. Alright, so Wong started with the Polar Explorer 2, which he bought in Singapore for 6,000 Singapore dollar. To give you an idea, $1 is 1.3 Singapore dollar, something like that. So that's a good price. So it tells me that he probably bought it at least 2, maybe 3 years ago. Pretty much the same price, exactly the same price, in fact, that I paid for mine. So a watch that would have increased a lot in price had he kept it a bit longer. Then he got a GMT Master Ceramic full set for 9,500 Singapore dollar. Very good price. It has gained a lot of value. So he thought he would stop there. One black, one white dial GMT, which is interesting choice. But then he got hooked to the idea of an air, land, sea theme, and he got the Sea Dweller 5-digit reference, which is the longest running Rolex reference, if I'm not mistaken. 16600 full set, very good, for 11,000 Singapore dollar. I think that's a good move. It's a great watch. And afterwards, he wanted a watch that can be formal and sporty, and he got the Datejust watch only for 4,800 Singapore dollar. Good price again, doesn't break the bank. And as you can see on the picture, his wrist looks to be sized perfectly for that 36 millimeter. So tells me that the Sea Dweller and the Polar Explorer 2 would have been perfect. Not sure why you went and got the it's part of a journey. So you got the maxi case, GMT, black. Well, okay. And then you sold the Polar. So yeah, I'm wondering what the black looks on your wrist. Might be a bit oversized. But anyway, let's go on. So you sold the Polar to fund a square or rectangular watch. So you see here the feeling I'm getting with Wong's email is that he's trying to tick all the boxes, and I've done the same. And let's see where that took him. He wanted only brands that are famous for their heritage movements, and he was lacking a chrono. So he began searching for a square chrono that has history and heritage, and was thinking Heuer, which is not a bad way of thinking. Then he chanced upon the Zenith that we see here, El Primero 400 movement. That was the famous movement modded by Rolex and installed in their Daytona. Well, modded quite a bit, As you know, Zenith is much better than Heuer in the history. I'm not so sure about that. Many collectors of Heuer would disagree with it. As a fully integrated high beat movement when they compete in the 70s. Immediately bought it at 3,000 Hong Kong dollar. Thank God it didn't cost much. So that's the big square, fairly bland looking Zenith there, which, I have a Zenith Chronomaster T round watch, 38 millimeters, full calendar. You should have bought that. You can still do it at a reasonable price, around the price you paid there. Well, no, a bit more than that. Because the one you have there, I have to be frank, if you love it, it's great. It's not really square. If you want a square watch, get a Cartier like everybody else. This one here doesn't really say, doesn't look very modern. Doesn't even say really Zenith to me. But anyway, then he began the rectangle watch search. Tang versus JLC. Of course, the decision is JLC. Again, I'm not sure it's so obvious, The first wristwatch in history, I think, was basically the Santos from Cartier. And while they do make crappy ones with ETA movements, they also make very good ones with, for example, Piguet calibers in them, very, very thin. So anyway, the decision was GLC for a true watch connoisseur brand. These things that we tell ourselves like this. In-house movement with the same shape as the case, that's true. Searching and found it at 5,000 Singapore dollar. So I like that. At least you do your homework and you buy the pieces at the right price. Full set, and he bought it. So he's got a 5-piece core collection, top row here. He thought it would stop there. Then he got the dumb idea, he says it himself, so I can only agree, to why not have a theme of one watch per from the three largest conglomerate, Swatch, Richmond, and LVMH. And yeah, it is really dumb because the universe doesn't care about it. Nobody knows about your collection, cares about what you add in it. And that is indeed one of the dumbest things because those conglomerates were formed for cost cutting, bottom line reasons, image, and, it doesn't really end well. And Richemont right now is annoying many top collectors with the way they treat, for example, the longer customers. So, not something you would want to pay tribute to, but anyway, you began searching for one from the Swatch group. Pretty easy, I would go Omega. So you almost got the Omega DeVille 18 karat full yellow gold. Oh my God. I imagine at a very, very low price, something like that must have popped up on eBay or on Carousel, which you have there in Singapore. Or the Speedy, yes, you should have bought the Speedy. Or the Rail Master, no, I wouldn't buy that. But looking at the dull core collection pieces, man, it's your collection. Why do you make it dull? With no hand engraved, see-through case back, with astounding finishing, I had to splurge, more. And German brands, I haven't got any, and the most iconic in the Swatch group, which meets the criteria of super finishing icon. What else other than the Panomatic Lunar from Geo? And you say yourself, ha ha ha, indeed. Got it under 9,000 Singapore dollar, thank God. That's what I would pay if I really wanted one of these, full set, and the rest is history. Now, seeing my collection should be almost done, I'm guessing the final touch is to upgrade the reverso to a blue one. So I have 2 black, 2 blue, 2 white. Well, let's see about that. The picture of your GLC, by the way, on your wrist looks splendid. I think it's your best looking watch and it's perfect on your wrist. So let's see about changing that one. If I were to win the lottery, then I would consider upgrading the reverso to the red one, the blue pano to a longer one. You see now you've set yourself back into getting that longer one by buying the Geo. If you even mention it yourself, it means you know that there's something out there. The Sea Dweller to a Hulk, ooh, man. The Datejust to a yellow OP, the GMT Master to a Pepsi, and upgrade the El Primero white dial to the white Chronomaster, the new one, the 1/10 of a second. All different dial colors, LOL, but no, that would cost a lot indeed if you were to do that. I hope you're not seriously thinking about it unless you do win the lottery. I'm happy to close the watch collecting chapter. Come on, man. You know, it's never ending, especially the way you've been going about it. It tells me that it's going to be hard for you to really be happy and stop. And yeah, you want to go 2 white, 2 black, 2 blue. Okay, let's see where we are going with this. As I said, on the pictures, I think the OP36 and the GLC fit perfectly on your wrist. I think the Panomatic comes also in 38 millimeters. I'm not sure. On the picture there, maybe you took it from really close. It looks huge on your wrist. Looks like you're wearing, if I must be frank, your brother's watch. So I'm not sure why you went and paid so much money for this watch. If you really, really love the brand, but you're already talking about the longer. If you love the brand, see if you can trade it now for the smaller size. Now going blue, trading the JLC, that'd be silly. It looks great because it's got the Roman numerals versus the Arabic numerals versus the Roman numerals of the Datejust. I'm worried about the size of the ceramic GMT, but hey, you've done it. You had your reasons. Maybe you got tired of the white look of the Polar Explorer, so fine. You know, your Rolex collection is perfect. 3 watches, does everything. I like the GLC. I know you didn't pay so much for it, but why go through the trouble of changing it for the blue dial? I'm not sure it's going to really make you happy. The one thing I would do, you know, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Trade out of the Geo, trade out of that very old-fashioned looking Zenith, and either you can add that new Zenith Chronomaster, but I think it's going to test the limits of your wrist, whether in white dial or black dial. It has a bit of color, not too much blue. Honestly, blue is getting out of fashion. A little bit of it is enough. Or you could look at the one that I have, for example, the Chronomaster T, if you like the old-fashioned look. It's 38 millimeters only. Look on my channel, my reviews of it. That will be quite a nice watch, but they're not cheap to service. So be careful there a little bit. They don't cost a fortune, you know. It's like 4,000 US. However, I think a model that could suit you better and would keep that different shape theme in the collection would be the A384. They're coming up with all sorts of colors, and I'm sure you can get 30% off right off the bat and probably 50% off second hand. So you would get a nice movement, nicer, better finish on it than on the one you have. You could get a bit of color in the collection, modern build, quite nice. You can have it on the Gay Frere bracelet. Instead of the Zenith, you could also go for an Omega, the smaller 40mm case with the CK2998. The blue version would look very good if you want a blue watch. Don't need to have two, just one. One is enough. I think that would be nicer. One of those two. Now the Rolex OP36 is pretty old-fashioned. It suits you well. So if you love it, I love it. I'm happy for you. Otherwise, you could upgrade it, that one, to a modern version in 36mm. Stay with 36. It's very good for you. And either go OP or go for a Datejust. A lot of choices. The Datejust 36 is a very good watch. There's a blue dial in there as well. So that could be your way to the blue dial. I would rather do it through the Rolex OP or Rolex Datejust rather than do it through the JLC, which is a classic look, looks very good. You're not going to gain much, and you might lose a lot of money trying to get the blue one. 5 watches, I think that would be enough, and then you have a goal for your collection, which is to get a longer. I would aim first at the longer up-down second-hand market. I mean, prices have gone up, but hopefully it's going to quiet down, or the longer one if you really want to break the bank, and then you would have a super strong collection that that nobody can take away from. So let me know what you think about my review here, guys, in the comments. Where would you take this collection? Which watches would you sacrifice to the gods of watch collecting? And I'll speak to you in the next one. Bye bye, guys.